PY. This is Bobby. I'm calling from San Francisco. I'm currently walking my dog outside, and I don't know if you noticed, but the sky hasn't really come up yet because of the wildfires. The sky is sort of orange behind me. Anyway, so while I was walking my dog, I was thinking about the application I'm trying to build with BenitaSoft, and I have a complex situation that I need you to help me with. I'm trying to build a form, and I have 10 business data model variables and also 5 process variables. And also I need to build 5 REST APIs in the forms, and I'm having some trouble to know if I have to do everything manually. Also, when I'm at to make changes, how easy this is going to be or not. So can you please help me, Pierre-Yves? I'm really stuck. I would really like to be able to build that form as it's pretty important for me to move forward. Thank you.
Hi, Bobby. Nice to meet you. Yeah, the sky was so incredible this day. It was awesome. It was like in the movies, the Blade Runner 2020 or something like this. So terrible, I would like to say. So back to your questions. I know exactly the pain that you have, and I can't do anything about the sky. But for that issue, I have a solutions. Let's review that together. Okay, so what I did, it's a simple process. Here it is. And inside I add some data. So I add business data, and you know that one because I already used that business data before. It's a subject, and I have a lot of scene, and for each scene I have some planning, actors, material, whatever. So this is one simple business object, and I have some business data, process variable, because as you know, a lot of people doesn't use a process variable, business variable, but use only process variable, and I have to do a video on that to explain the main difference between the business variable and the process variable, because this is two different mechanisms. There are no oppositions between all these two mechanisms. You can use both at the same time, or you can prefer the process variable or the business variable. Okay, I have both of that, and then I generate a simple forms. I add in my forms this contract here, you see. So I just ask here for to fulfill the subject, which just have scene and with actors inside my business. That's what I want, but in fact I want to display more than that. Then I generate my forms automatically, and let's have a look to see what I have. So I generate one case. Here it is, default access. I don't need that. And let's see what's happened, what I have. Okay, that's my subject, my okay, that's my business variable, and here, oh, I have nothing here, and the variable is empty. And that makes sense, because if you look for the result of my process variable, you see I have nothing, only reference. So why do I have these effects? Just have a look behind the scene. So come back to my process and have a look on the form. So this form was completely generated by the UIDesigner, by the wizard. He did very nice job, awesome. And then let's have a look on the REST API. So I have my subject of the week, which is my business variable, and he load the complete business variable. Okay. Of course, there are nothing about the process variable. It's only the business variable. But why I don't have anything in my business variable? That's easy, because as you know, let's have a look on my business variable, define. This is my element, and this is my subject. Look, my scene are here, and my scene are only load related object. Okay, and that's make perfect sense, because I remember what's happened to Marvin the last times, and he moved everything to all reloads, and he doesn't get any answer. Okay, so this time, okay, the business decided that it's only load when needed. But when we do that, of course, if we look on the subject on the week, that's what we get. Let's put that in a JSON. You know, I love that JSON editor to see what's happened. Oh, I forgot to copy that. And let's have a look. You see, I have no scene at all, just the link, nothing. So that's why the form doesn't display anything, any scene at all. So how can we do? Because I want to display the scene, okay? What can I do? How can I display all the information that I want on my screen? So I give you a first possibility. First, you go here to the data model, here, panel, and you have all the different data models. Let's select the scene, and you just need to drag and drop. So don't try to drag and drop here. You need to drag and drop because, in fact, this item contains not only the REST API, but a lot of widgets. So you select the name and you choose a file. So let's change by the persistence ID because remember the persistence ID is unique. So if I search by the persistence ID, I'm sure to get the one, okay, only one. And I need to give the value of the persistence ID. How can I find these informations? Let's have a look on the item here. And if I come here to the complete access, let's open, have a look on the network. I just want to access that, and you see here you have the context, and in the context you have the business variable and you have the item. So it's not the persistence ID because I don't know why it's storage ID because in the BDM you have storage and persistent, but every time the two values are identical. So it's not persistent, it's storage, but believe me, you can use that value to search the informations. So the idea here is to select context context dot blah blah blah, and then the storage ID, and then you get that. Let's have a look. I do just my second example here. You get that after. So first, as you can see, you have now a lot of REST API. Okay, because it detects that you have a lot of sub elements, and then it will generate one REST API for each. You have a lot of elements. And then you do the lazy or the item, it's really a lot of. And doing that after, let's try it. What do we have? If I come here, close that, come to the, it's not enough space on my screen. Okay, this is the complete access. What do we have? Okay, so now we have the descriptions, we have the element, and still not, because actually when you the REST API return not one item but a list of items, and then you have to, even if you search by the persistence ID, you know you are only one item, it gives you back a list of items. So you have to make some JavaScript, and I was too lazy to do this JavaScript. So that's why let's select the element, and then you have the element here, the different thing, but accessory, planning, material, and actors are still empty. It's not here, that's it. So if you want to display it, you need to put a lot of REST JavaScript to get all the different items. And what about the process variable? So here, if you look here, I am able to display the process variable. So what I did here in the element that I add a lot of REST API. I need to have one REST API per variable. Okay, you have 10 variable, 10 REST API. And second, what you have to pay attention is, look here in my main actor, I still not have any item here. Why? Because actually, if I look for the variable here, the list of potential actor, I get the value, but the value is not a JSON, the value is a string. And the second point is, you see the string, we don't have the double quote here. That means when you try in JavaScript to JSON parse this string, you get an error. So you have to, in JavaScript, you have to add again all the different code everywhere, and then to get the item. Okay, you can see here, if I look on my element, I can see that I have in the console unexpected token. You see, list of potential actors, the JSON failed. So as you can see, it's possible to display by this way the process variable. It's possible to display the process, but it's still very complex. And I didn't finish. I have to put a lot of JavaScript glue to be able to display the different elements. So what can we do? I try to do the best. I spend maybe 2 or 3 hours to try to build this form for this video. And as you see, I failed. Why? Because I give up, because actually I never do this way. It's too complex, too complex. So what I do here, I did that in the last element here. I call that the easy, and I would like to name the video the easy UI designer, because it's very easy to use the UI designer. You will see when you have the good tool at the good moment. So let's first demonstrate what we have with the last item. This is the easy UI designer. Let's have a look. So close that. So we have the different item. We have all the elements, and look, we have the kids, we have the children, we have the accessory, we have the planning, we have the actors, we have all the kids. And the same, the second, and so on, I have still my variable, and I have my actors. Everything is populated correctly, okay? That's the first. So even if you have a lot of a big hierarchy or whatever, it's okay. And now have a look on the magic on behind the scene. Yes, okay, I don't want to save that, so come back here. No, sorry, I want to come here. Here, what I look for. Look, my UI designer part now. Up. That's all the variable I have, you see? What the main point is, I have my form input, and I use what we call the REST API context. So this REST API is available on the community. You just need to install it on your server as a resources, and that's it. So with that, you have the form input, you will populate that, and you just need to match everything on the form input. Why? Because if you look what you get, let's close that, F12, open again the debugger, up, have a look on the network. Here is what the REST API context returns. So copy that, copy everything here, that on the JSON editor. And what do we have here? So first of all, you get everything in one call, one REST API, everything in the case. You have all the variable, and look, this is my list, and this is not a string. This is a JSON. That's why it's so easy to match that on my select box, because now it's not anymore a string. And this is my business object. Okay, so as you see, there are no difference between the process variable and the business object, because when you play with the UI designer, actually you don't care to have this business variable or process, and you have all the different sub item here. Okay, get it? You get the power? We speak, and we are out of time. So let's continue that discussions in the next video. Okay, you follow me?